No, I think I was one of those kids, and I wonder if you're the same. I would always trade in my games or consoles to keep leveling up and going to the next one. If I finished a game, trade it in. And there was so many times I'd be like, fuck, let's play that game. Like, oh, no, I traded it in for $5.
No, I never...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokaii with two eyes. We are on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about video games, what we started with, what we play, what we like the most, what we hate. Just dive right in.
Just going
to the deep end, mate.
Beautiful. First game experience for me would be playing the Game Boy Color, Pokemon Yellow. My neighbor had it. Because I didn't have a gaming like anything for the longest time. My first console was a PlayStation 1. I was pretty late to it. I had the skinny PlayStation 1. Did you know how there was like the big one and like the slim version?
When you had your PlayStation 1, what did other kids have? Don't say the PlayStation 3.
No.
Thank God.
I was not one of those. No, I wasn't that late. I think the PS2 maybe had just come out though.
I always felt so sorry for those kids that, you know, you'd have like maybe the brand new console and they're still like 5 years back.
Our friend was that friend.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
he was.
we'd just be getting like the PS4. He'd be like, what do you mean the PS4? It's like, dude, the PS4. I only just got the PS3. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? Like, how did this pop up? Like, what? But no, PS1 was the first one, and I had my PS1 was chipped, so I could play like burnt games. It was like, So I
forgot about chip.
Yeah, I was like one of those ones. So, but I specifically remember it was a PlayStation 1 demo disc back when you could get the demo discs, and I remember playing the Spider-Man PS1 game, and that was so fucking fun. Like, I had so much fun on that. And it was just a first mission, but God, it was good. And then obviously like your Croc, played a lot of Crash Bandicoot, a lot of Spyro, and Tekken. I think it was Tekken 3 back then. I remember those games like really, really well. Oh, and Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I was terrible at it, but my old man, he was pretty good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think my first experience, it was definitely like a PlayStation 1. But I can't recall many of the games that were played on it. I know we had that, and then we got the PlayStation 2, and I think possibly I remember my uncle playing GTA, and I wasn't allowed to play, but I was allowed to watch him, and I was just in awe of GTA. I thought I was just like, this is the most craziest thing ever. Like, I want to play that. So when he'd go to the bathroom, I'd quickly grab it and just just try to knock over. And he'd come back, but did you play? And I'm like, no, I didn't touch it. And he'd be like, okay, well, why is a hooker run over there? Because I was doing a mission on the other side of town.
Oh, that's great. I love that. And then, we got a PC. So then...
Did your parents make you play math games on the PC?
No. So I was fortunate. We had a family friend, and he was a PC gamer himself. So he loaded our PC with like a Lord of the Rings game, the first Need for Speed, GTA Vice City. I played so much. I had no idea that no other kids were playing Vice City either. So like, I'm just a casual like 8-year-old driving around, running people over, shooting people up, thinking like, no, yeah, everyone else is doing this and all that. And Mum was like, because I specifically remember having a mate around, and Mum was like, whatever you do, Lee, don't play that GTA game because like, I don't know if other kids would be okay to play it. I'm like, oh, it's fun. You just get to drive around. And Mum's like, no. Like, don't play that game. I remember my dad getting really into Need for Speed.
Oh, yeah.
As well. Because, like, you know how, like, I don't know if it was the same at your house, but, like, my old man, it was very specific. Like, dinner time was, like, get out of your, like, if you were, like, watching TV or whatever TV I've come, because we used to sit at the dinner table back then. Not anymore.
Yeah.
But it was very, like, you know, dinner's now and all that. Well, Mum used to make dinner, and he'd be on the computer, like, playing Need for Speed at the time, and Mum would be like, oh, dinner's ready. He's like, no, babe, I'm playing Need for Speed. And you're like right into it, and he's like, he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I was like, fuck up a drift. Mate, I reckon there were nights there, no word of a lie, I would be coming home from work, turning the PC on to continue playing Need for Speed.
Just hit the pause button, mate.
Mate, come on, there's no pausing. But
my brother would always, all the time, like whenever, because we were the same, we'd have all dinner together at the table. Like, that feels so ancient now.
It does, man.
My parents would be like, you know, come on, hurry up, get off, get off. No, you got to get off. And he'd be like, no, you don't get it. I can't pause. 5 more minutes. I can't pause. And then me being the brother being like, no, I know the game he's playing. He can pause. He can. And I just, shut up.
That's great. Yeah, there were so many. I know gaming as a kid as well was just fun, man. Like the PS2, like so many good games on the PS2. Split screen was at an all-time high. You'd have mates around to be like, oh, mate, like, let's play Crash. Or for me, there was a Ratchet and Clank. I think it was called Gladiator. But I think it might also be called Deadlock, depending on like what part of the world you were in. That game with a friend was incredible. Wow, that was good. Even Buzz, iToy, SingStar, like those like sort of party games, man. That shit was so fun. I think the PS2 could have been that great, although the 360 was pretty good.
360 had Halo, mate.
The PS2 was probably like, but I reckon it was my favourite console.
Yeah, once Halo came out, that was just Halo multiplayer. Just being able to jump online, I would stretch out. When I first got an Xbox.
So you had an Xbox. Did you have a PS2 and an Xbox? Just real quick.
I think
like the
so.
original Xbox.
No, I think I was one of those kids, and I wonder if you're the same. I would always trade in my games or consoles to keep leveling up and going to the next one. If I finished a game, trade it in. And there was so many times I'd be like, fuck, let's play that game. I'm like, oh no, I traded it in for $5.
I never had the original Xbox. So whenever I would go to someone's and they have their Xbox, I'd be like, what is this controller?
Yeah, I had the Xbox 360.
Because that Xbox controller was fucking
And I remember
whack.
my first game was Assassin's Creed. And I traded it in, and I always regret it because I look back, and what was happening was I had such a shit TV that I couldn't read any of the tutorials, so I wasn't having fun. So I traded that in, and I got one of the Tony Hawk games where you could use the BMX as well.
Yeah.
That was sick. So I played that game, and then I would slowly get a bit more, play a bit of FIFA, and then I learned about online, and online was the best fun. So I think there was a game called Midnight LA Run or something like that, and or racing people. That was really good. But Halo was the all-time best. Like versing people on a shooter, Halo specifically, just god tier.
I was so late to the party because I had a PS2 for ages. I think I didn't get a 360 till like year 9.
Yep.
And my first online experience ever was Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is like what people have been playing since like year 7.
You fell in love. You were just
Dude,
like,
I was like, this was like it was genuinely like a drug for me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a brand new fucking world. Like, what the fuck? And I remember because everyone always went on about how good Modern Warfare 2 was and all that. And I'm so bummed because like I missed out on that period, and I feel like that, like, man, you're not getting that back.
Yeah.
Like you missed the boat. Like if you weren't on, then you missed out.
You're so right, because I will never forgive this person ever. Ever. I will never forgive this person. I finally got a PlayStation 3 and I was about to play online. And when I got the PlayStation 3, Modern Warfare 2 just came out. Like it was pretty brand new. And I was going to get it. And then a friend said, no, out of all the CODs, out of, Call of Duty 4, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2, World at War is the best one. You want to get World at War. And I was like, so World at War, I grabbed that. Keep in mind, World at War is 2 years back. So it's not
World War II shit.
Yeah, it's not the new one. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, cool, okay, I grab it. And I grab it and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. But I personally, I don't know why, I really don't like games that are very dark.
Yeah,
like
prefer
in
a bit
color.
more
I like
color.
bright.
Yeah.
So I went to a friend's house 2 weeks later. He has Modern Warfare 2. And I remember he's playing on Scrapyard and just getting a kill, just the noise, the points, just the emblem, the everything about Modern Warfare 2. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. And I wanted to attack the friend that suggested World War II.
Yeah, even like COD 4 back then was fun. Because I remember playing that a lot at my mates. My first Xbox 360 experience was actually playing Gears of War 2.
Fuck, I forgot about Gears of War.
I love that game. Like I would walk down.
I still do that competitively.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no. That's wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I would always, because he had a 360, he got it for Christmas, 2 controllers, and I remember walking down to his pretty much nearly every single day, and just playing Gears of War or like Modern Warfare 2. Like we were playing Modern Warfare 2's like split screen, man, like leveling up split screen. So man, when I found out that was online, I was like, whoa, because then I remember playing split screen with him, and he was like, shit, you're actually like pretty good down. I was like, yeah, man, like
I've been practicing a lot.
Because Modern Warfare, what was it? Modern Warfare 3 was fun as fuck for us. I loved playing that game.
We were on that together.
With all our high school mates. I played a shit ton of Black Ops 2. Like that for me is like hands down like the best COD. The best COD, the most fun I ever had with like any video game, I reckon. And then obviously, jumped ship. I had the Xbox One. I remember Titanfall was a game that made me want to get the Xbox One.
Oh, I forgot about Titanfall.
I didn't even own an Xbox One. I didn't even have I wasn't even working.
Yeah.
And I just remember you got the Titanfall like beta. I remember going around to yours and I was like, wow, I love this game. Pre-ordered the game without actually even having the fucking console, mind you. Oh, mates were like, you're a dumbass, man. Like, what are you doing?
Titanfall, I think I remember playing Titanfall and I thought, this is really cool. But as I went on, there's something about a video game where if you're playing online and you're versing bots, I hate. It doesn't feel rewarding in any way. So I'd play Titanfall, and at the start I was like, this is so cool. I actually really enjoy this. This is really unique. And then I'd find lobbies where it's just bots, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just play campaign or I'll just do something. This isn't the reward I'm looking, like the system I'm looking for. So I fucking jumped off that real quick after that was happening. I think my favourite COD was, it would have been Modern Warfare 3. I actually really, really enjoyed that game. Or possibly... Nah, you know what? I did really have a lot of fun on Modern Warfare 2019 with Warzone and everything.
You were killing it, man. I don't think I've seen you love a game so much prior to what we were playing in high school.
Yeah.
I've never seen you enjoy games so much. So I suppose it was sort of like me with Cold War, actually. Like, it just gave me, because like I had a good core group of mates, and we were always jumping on, and I was like, wow, this is like reliving those nostalgia days for me. I think when you get that effect from a game,
definitely,
you instantly just put that up on your pedestal.
Yep.
Like, even any flaws that are in the game, you're almost like, that was never there.
Yeah. That's so true.
You just think of the good times.
And gaming with friends is just 10 times better.
Oh, man, it is. Especially at our age now, I feel.
Oh, for sure. There's only a few games that I will play that isn't multiplayer. Like, for me, some of the best games of all time I've played is like The Last of Us and God of War. And they were single-player games. But I couldn't name 5 I couldn't sit down and give you 5 games that I sat down campaign-wise and was just obsessed with. Yeah. But I can with multiplayer.
You know what's hilarious too? Growing up, I think because I was so late to the online thing, I actually used to love single-player games. Like, I used to deep dive. I used to play the shit out of the Assassin's Creed, man. Like, from Assassin's Creed 1 all the way through to, I think maybe Brotherhood, which I think that's only like 4 Assassin's. Oh, no, Assassin's Creed 3 as well I played and I really, really enjoyed. Ever since switching up to like a PS4, PS5, man, story games, my attention span just isn't there. Or I'll have the problem, it was Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah, that's the first one. I loved that game. I thought the world itself was breathtaking. I had played it non-stop for like easily 2 weeks, but then I put it down maybe to play like a COD or like a 2K FIFA or whatever. Trying to pick the game back up, I was like, I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
Like, that love for the game just isn't there. I feel lost. I don't recall what's happening. Like, for me, if I'm not playing a story game, and I choose to play a game with, like, mates, I'm just, the love and attention, I'm just like, whatever.
It definitely has changed. I think a lot of things come into play. When we were in school, when you got home, there was no getting in your car and going in the shops, going to catch up with friends. There was none of that. You were home. And that's it.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, though.
So unless you had a sibling that maybe you could play table tennis with, kick the footy with, whatever, for maybe an hour until that gets bored, it was video games. So you could sit there and get stuck and play some of the boring stuff to get to the better things with the single-player games. But now, man, you're so spot on. If something happens on a single-player game where I'm like, oh, it's kind of bored at the moment and I'm grinding through, I'm just going to do something else. It's just so easy going to do something else. I think another thing as well... And being so busy as well.
Yeah, being so busy with work. Sometimes you just come home and you're like, the last thing. Like, it actually almost feels like a chore. Yeah. It sounds so dumb because, like, gaming is such a good outlet. You can escape the real world and all that. But it almost does feel like man, there's been so many times, like, I'll have mates and they'll be like, are you jumping on? It's like, mate, I've just done like a 7 to a 5 o'clock at work. And then I've just got home from gym. It's 7 o'clock at night. I haven't even had a shower yet. Yep. I haven't had dinner. By the time I do that, it's 8 o'clock. I want to be asleep by 11. Jumping on, playing if I think the issue with me specifically, if I'm playing a game, I don't want to jump on for an hour. I want to make like a good 3-hour block.
Yeah.
I want to make some progress. And for me as well, if you're on and my mates are on, well, I'm picking the online game that I can play with I don't want to play a game that I'm by myself. Granted, I enjoy the chat, but obviously, you want to listen to the cutscenes that are happening and all that. And there's nothing worse when you have a mate who's playing a single player game, or even if you are, people, and you're like, just shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up. Like, I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Because if you've got 4 friends that don't come on together too much and they're all at the same time and you've got the option to play a single player game, that single player game you can come back to any time. You're not going to always be able to get those 4 people at the same time. But the problem is, if that keeps happening, then that single player game just keeps getting pushed and pushed away. And you are so spot on. I've had days where I will want to play a video game so badly. I'll be like, awesome, this is going to be so good when I get home. I can finally start the story. And I work it up in my head, and it's like the idea of playing that video game is more fun than actually playing the video game. Because when I finish work and get home, I'm the same as you. I'm like, man, I would love to play that video game, but I'm just going to crash and watch Netflix or Crunchyroll or some type of anime because I just want to switch off.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do anything.
That's the thing. Like, I've noticed, granted, like, I've been on my week of annual. 2K's just come out. And all my mates like, oh, man, you must be so far ahead of 2K. Like, have you done this and that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's weird as well because, like, on my days off and even with for me, the thought of actually waking up in gaming isn't there like it was as a kid.
Oh, I used to love
I used to love waking up and you just game for the whole day. Now I'm like, well, no, because I want to go to gym and that's like a good hour there. And then obviously doing everything that we're doing here, it's like, I want to do like the timestamps for this or do video descriptions tags. So like by the time I do all that, it's actually like 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I'm even like, I don't know. It's like I would rather do what I need to do and then have the rest of the day to game or whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's almost like gaming isn't all that important as what it used to be as a kid. And I just don't look forward to it as much anymore.
I think that there's too much at our fingertips that can hit that serotonin level. I think that the fact that TikTok, you constantly can scroll, see new videos, Netflix, you can watch Stan, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. There's always something new coming out. And also there's that many shows out that are so amazing, but you've never even, like some indie shows, things like that. There's always some way to get a serotonin hit and just have fun that it feels like to grind now in a video game, that grind to just then get that hit of serotonin, which is really fun where maybe you're about to get to some cool moment in the end of a video game. That grind is now like, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting constant fun at the moment or just something sparking in the brain. I
think as well, I know it's a massive frustration for me, but with gaming nowadays as well, man, it's not even like because it used to be you go home, you buy the game, go home, put it in, and you play. Now, man, you go home, put the disc in, especially if you're still a physical copy person. It's not put the disc in and play. It's put the disc in. The game's got to do some like 50 gig update. Once the update's done, then it's got to copy all the information from the disc to the console.
Mate,
it's probably like two and a bit hours before you're even fucking playing the actual game itself.
Keep in mind, the worst part is if the game is big enough, you then have to go, okay, what game do I have to now fucking delete off my console?
Yeah, because that is one big thing I've noticed now with all these future consoles that we've had, PS4, PS5, man. It's like, 1 terabyte hard drive, which sounds like so much space. But man, when COD at the best of time is like the best part of 250 gig, it's not a lot of space at all.
And there's already so much space taken up just with the system software as well. We actually had to, because we're playing a lot of video games for our series on Morokaii Gaming, the thing is, we're going to play a lot of games that are just one-offs. Plain and simple, that we just want to play.
Cry. But yeah,
we're not going to grind out. So if we're going to download something like Injustice 2, maybe a fishing game, just something silly, then we had to actually buy a hard drive to copy everything on in case that, say we did enjoy that game and we want to go back to it, it's there. We have to keep fucking having to download it. So you're spot on. They're having to download, which takes like 2-3 hours, and depending on your internet connection, could take a lot longer.
That's a whole day.
It could take fucking one of my brother's mates. If he gets a game, especially if he buys it digitally, at 24 hours, like actually like 16 to 24 hours.
It's ridiculous.
And then after that, copying, like you said, and
it's so bad as well because then I remember like way back when my internet wasn't as good. and all that as well, then you'd have to, like, for me to almost be like, look, I'm not playing it on the day it's coming out. I have to leave it overnight when no one else is on the internet. So that way, like, all the internet's just going straight to, like, that download too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, oh, man, it's just such a hassle. Like, I don't know, like, gaming, I think as well, like, as a kid, like, because you just have less responsibility. So, like, you could, like, that was such a good, you'd be like, sweet, I'm going home to play this. Whereas now, I suppose it's different for you again now that you actually have a house and all that compared to even, like, my responsibilities. But, like, I get home and I'm still just like, well, fuck, I should probably do this first before I jump on and do that. And yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just, it just isn't the same.
I wish it was,
Isn't
though.
the same. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still enjoy it. But I think the level of enjoyment just compared to like high school and like, yeah, a younger kid, just
I could compare.
Very
I think I
rarely.
could compare it to life. Like the grind in a video game was very fun to get that reward, and now it's just I can get so many types of rewards, and I like look. It could be, fuck. It could even be porn. Do you know what I mean? Like you can get a hit of anything
yeah, no,
you
you're spot
need
on.
to just fix that itch.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
A lot of things you're like, why grind?
I think as well with video games now, instead of the grind, like we almost want it. It's like, what's the quickest way?
Why do you think
I can
Candy
do
Crush
this?
and
Like-
TikTok are so popular? It is that quick fix, so
It's just right there at your fingertips.
it really is. Now, the Modern Warfare 2 beta is coming out this week, so I'm very keen.
I'm keen to
This one will
dip
come out
off.
a fair bit later, but yeah, I'm very keen to, because anytime the new COD comes out, I'm very excited to give it a go.
Yeah, you have to get your.
I'm
just got to sink.
I'm
teeth in.
praying we both like it the
Oh,
same.
same, man. Well, it's funny because Modern Warfare in 2019, I actually really enjoyed that 2v2 thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when we were doing that, I was like, this is grouse. I love this
The
stuff. Like the
2v2
King of the
was
Hill
cool.
stuff. But then when the game itself came out, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, the 2v2 was very fun. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you get the chance, leave us a review on Spotify. And yeah, that was Morokaii with 2 eyes. We'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Peace.